Hello everyone, this is Frederick Mellin, aka Mr. Mel. Today I'm gonna show you the new Scorpion 130 amp controller, which is going to be released this coming week. It's a totally new design. It has many new functions. I'm gonna list them here. We have a controller that has a built-in BAC with adjustable voltage, so you can set it by 5.4, 6.2 or 7.4 voltage. It has been tested to very high peaks. If you run a Vbar and wiggle the sensor, running 487 17 gyro servos can pull up to 66 amp in transient peaks, and this BAC can handle that. We also have a PC interface, so you can program it, you can update firmwares online, download your firmware, update it. It has a built-in phase sensor, and with that it also has a external governor mode, so we can run our Vbar governor. And it does work like the old Scorpion 130 amp controllers as well, so you can program it without PC with the IR controller that it comes with, but you get a little bit more when you use the PC. One thing that this does, I don't know how they managed to pull it off, but it gives tons of power output for the same setup. I mean, if I take another controller, slap it on here, and compare that to this controller with the same battery, same motor, same gearing, same everything, this just gives more power. I don't know where it comes from, but that's a fact, at least with the Scorpion motors I have been tested, and the Contronic motor and the Pyro 700. So that's a plus. I think it has with timing and everything to do. There is going to be one extra cable for sale. I have it back here. It's a prototype. It's an opto isolator for the phase sensor, because if you're running 12 volt, we're talking 50 volts pumping here, coming back to the Vbar, the phase sensor signal is going down to 3.3 volt, and it's so much difference, so the signal becomes unstable, you get glitches in the log. This little cable will take care of that. I don't think you need it on all systems, but if you have lots of glitches, then you will need that. The speed controller has two cables for power, throttle cable and extra power cable for the BSC. It has one cable for putting in an LED, which it comes with when you do programming and look at arrow codes. And then it has this cable, which is either you connect the PC, which I'm gonna show you, or when you don't use the PC, when you're actually flying, this become the phase sensor output. So that's the cables we have. It as you can see, compared to my thumb here, how big it is, it's a little bit bigger than for example 120 helijive or something like that, but the most of it is these fins actually. So the cooling is really good. It has dual layer, so these heat sinks is just, it's not only external, it goes through the controller and pulls that heat out from inside it, so it runs actually quite cool. Cannot test the real temps here because outside it's -2 degrees Celsius, so even if I fly the hardest I can do, everything runs cool. So but well, Scorpion says it runs very cool, and I have to agree with that. I haven't seen anything that contradicts it, at least. This is actually a prototype of the Gaui X7 I have here, for you that wonder which machine this is. So now I'm gonna show you how to program this controller and how to update firmware, and also how to program the Vbar if you're running external governor mode. This speed controller comes with the included programming is the same as before. It's a IR programmer. The PC programmer is optional. So first, in this episode, I'm gonna show you exactly how to program this speed controller using the IR programmer. What you want to do is to connect. Here is a throttle cable out of the speed controller. I'm gonna connect this IR receiver in between here, going into the receiver here. So, and you can see on this one it says brown, and that's where we want the brown on the cable, so you get that correctly. And then okay, so we have the programmer connected, and then I do always use a smaller pack when I do programming. I don't want to have an accidental spool up, so I use smaller packs, and in this case I have a 4S pack here. So even if I would bump the throttle or something, get in some funky mode, it will barely spin the motor. So I swapped this. This has a little switch, PPM, meaning it will let through the signal just as if this wasn't here. IRS will turn on the receiver for IR. Do note that I have this little LED connected here now, so I can see where when I do programming, this is my feedback, so I know what happened. So if I connect the pack right now, it's gonna light up here and say that means it's in programming mode. Then I take my little control panel here, or remote control, and for the exact options you have to use this data sheet, the manual. But what I want to do now is I want to program air, meaning mode 2, and then I aim it there. You see the light over there goes on, and then I take mode 2, enter, and then you get a confirmation. So then you know it has gone through. If I do something wrong, it will not give you that confirmation. Then I want MAT1, meaning motor acceleration time 1, and enter. Then I want timing 2, not out. I want 5 degrees set, so I take timing 2, enter. Then this little one here is the BAC voltage. 1 is 5.4, 2 is 6.2, and I want 7.4. So this and 3 and enter. And that's it for Vbar governor in terms of programming. I don't need to do anything more. The endpoints is okay, everything is okay, because it comes pre-programmed with it. If I want to do a total reset of this controller for some reason, what I want to do is actually unplug the pack, and I'm gonna show you. So I turn back to PPM, so my radio signal go through. I put my throttle at 100% and then plug in the pack. Now we will hear a little different tones. And leave it there for 10 seconds. 1, and we're gonna get a second time. This means now the controller is reset in terms of settings. If I want, I can recalibrate the endpoints. I don't really want that because this is done for the Vbar, so it works perfectly. But for this exercise, I'm gonna show you how it's done. Same thing, power up with full throttle, and then wait for the initial beep, and then move down. There you go. Now I have recalibrated the throttle endpoints. That's how it's done if you don't run Vbar Governor and want to calibrate it, or if you have screwed up for some reason and want to redo it. So that's how that's done. Now, again, just to go over, since I did a reset, I'm gonna reprogram it, and then I switch over to IRS, plug in the pack, aim, and I'm done. And now to get this going, I can remove this one. I don't want to have this when I fly because it puts a extra resistance for the BAC. I don't want that. I also remove this one. I don't want to have that there. You can have it because you will see error codes, stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure my setup is working and has been for a month, so I won't be needing that. Regardless, if you have the PC programmer or not, this is the phase sensor when it's running, and when you run external governor. If you don't run the external governor, this is just a cable you want to tie up somewhere because you don't need it. But in my case, I want to use that. To use the PC programmer, you will have something looking like this. This is a prototype, so I have a little bit strange cables here, but it's the same thing. Do load the drivers for it on your computer. It's printed in a manual where you can find the drivers. It's a simple USB to serial adapter, so chances are there is other that works as well. I would just guess and say I'm gonna test a few, but I would say there is others. So to connect this, we connect that to this cable, which is the phase sensor when it's running, but when it's not running, it's the programming cable. So like that, and then we connect to the computer, and I'm gonna show how it looks like on the screen. So this is how the program looks like when it's connected. What I want to do now is, the first thing, I want to select the COM port. Either I know which COM port it is and I select that, or in most cases just select auto detect. Auto detect will fail if you have lots of stuff connected to the same computer. It's actually me that has written this program, and I mean, it works on all computers that I have tested, but I know from experience that there will be some, when you have some phone things connected and stuff like that, it won't work. So that's why I choose to make so you can select manually if you know the COM port. So auto select, then just plug in the speed controller, and you will see here reading data. So now I can select my mode, I can select cutoff voltage, cutoff type, all the settings that you could do with the IR programmer as well. I like the PC program because it's a little bit more, you get an overview, you see what's set and what's not, and also you can update the firmware on this one. If you need to update the firmware, you go just to the firmware updater, select the file and program ESC, and it will start the programming. And if I select different modes, if I select governor or heli, then I get different menus. So you will get function sensitive type of programming, meaning you will only see the ones that are actually in use. So for this I'm gonna use the external governor mode, and with that I want the motor acceleration delay as short as possible, and I want the motor timing to be 5, and I want the BSC voltage to be 7.4, which I set with the IR programmer, so it's correct for this one. When I'm done, just write to ESC. It starts to beep a little bit, and ESC has been updated, all set and done. To look at where we're at, I'm just gonna go through the simple specific items for this controller. If you want the full going over the governor, you have to watch the separate episode that I have made on that one. But for this speed controller, when you are in external governor mode, the settings that are affected on this controller is the motor off, max throttle. It should be set at like this, -100, +100. Actually, the controller learns the low end side every time you start, so it's not that critical. Even if you had it at 110 on minus side, it would work. But leave it at -100, +100. Otherwise, look at my other video. But I'm gonna show you one more thing, and that's these settings where I have gone away a little bit from the default, and that's collective add is higher, almost more than double, and the collective dynamic I have raised on this helicopter is might not be needed on all helicopters. But start with something like 40 here and 15 and 15, so this should be a good start. Then we have the gain, which I set to 38. You have to tweak that when you're flying. This controller can take up to very high gains, so it depends how everything like if you get oscillation or not when you do quick stabs at the collective and stuff like that. But for the governor, how to tweak the governor, everything, look at my other videos. They cover this much better in detail.